Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Wake Up Show Chicago. My name is Dr. Larry Ivory, and I am the President CEO of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and Chairman of the Board of the National Black Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C. It is indeed a pleasure to be on the show with you again, where we talk about Black economic empowerment. We believe if you strengthen Black businesses, you strengthen Black people, and you strengthen Black communities, and you also strengthen America. So it's my wonderful pleasure to introduce my one and only, the one and only, the one and only, LaDonna Raeh,
Get it
my
right. We don't want
producer,
no. That's
my,
go.
my producer, Dr. LaDonna Raeh, my producer, and my co-host. And now I think she's an investigative reporter on top of it. So she's been running around doing all kinds of things. LaDonna, glad to have you on the show with us again.
Look, I'm glad to be on the show, and I was gonna say, get it right. We don't want no rumors swirling around. People run and tell that. But no, it's a pleasure to come here each and every Saturday. Good morning, Chicago, and anyone else that can hear us outside of Chicago. Especially, I just got to give a shout out to Gary in the Northwest Indiana guys. Hold on tight, okay? Help is coming. I am Dr. LaDonna Raeh with Ray Digital and WVON Monday through Thursday. And I'm a proud member of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. As we welcome you to the Wake Up Show, we are powered by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and sponsored by Wind Creek Chicago Southland. Each and every Saturday, we are here at 9 a.m. and we come to you live on these airwaves. That's right, Black media is still important. And we're also being heard on iHeartRadio. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Wake Up Show Chicago, and you can call us now. We have a number today. It's different. Okay. So normally you guys call us at the 1690 number, but because we were hit by the storm, we have a dedicated number just for today or this Saturday, I should say. And it is 312-705-5850. That's the number you will call us on. And please share the show on Facebook Live. But before we get too deep into this, Larry, I'm so excited about our guest today. Thanks for coming to Chicago all the way from Peoria just the other day. It was great to see you and the people that follow the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce for the great information that you had for the tour.
Yeah. Well, hey, LaDonna, I am excited. Our first guest today is legendary. He's not only legendary in terms of what he does, what he did in the NBA, but it's legendary in terms of what he's doing in the community and his role as a pastor, as a minister at the same time. He got some exciting things going on down there. I know you want to highlight anything from your side, but we got him on, and
Oh,
he's going to be kicking it.
look, an 18-year NBA veteran, five-time NBA All-Star, Olympic gold medalist, and one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game. Terry Cummings has joined us right here on the Wake Up Show Chicago. Welcome to the show, Terry Cummings.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here with y'all.
Now, I heard about your pastoral path. Should I be saying pastor, reverend? What?
Yeah, no, I've been pastoring here in Georgia going on 19 years, but I've been in ministry since I was 16, 17 years old. Started actually here in Chicago.
Yeah,
Oh,
but tell us also you're ultimate. I mean, you're an incredible businessman. Tell us about your film, your business. But we're gonna get right into that. After that, we're gonna talk about this incredible event you're doing, why you're doing it, and then tell people that you're gonna be coming to, um,
Coming home.
coming home, man.
My background in television, film, and music started in like the 80s, 84, 85. I started handling other people's music publishing, and because they didn't have legal backbone, I had it in my company. We would take on the record labels and go get the publishing for writers who couldn't afford it. And I made my first money that way. And then I started writing for BET. I wrote a lot of music for their TV shows, Story Reports, Live in LA. Those were just a couple of the shows we did music for. And then started into film and TV, which was really where I wanted to be and where my heart is. I love doing that. And so with the film and TV, we've done everything from commercials to actual movies, and I've been acting, author as a book writer, but I run Terry Cummings Publishing. and I also run Cummings Entertainment Group. Both companies are about 30, 40 years old.
Phenomenal. I never knew any of that, man. And I'm
Mhm.
sure a lot of audience did not know the extent of all the things that you are involved in. But let me ask this question. You have an event coming up. Tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up, and people can still get to be able to hang out with the NBA stars, some of the NBA stars that's going to be there with you, and get their foursomes. So tell us
Well,
about this event coming up.
well, we have a lot of great personalities coming out. Doc Rivers will be there, Isaiah Thomas, some of the local cats, Bobby Simmons, who played Ed Carver and also Ed DePaul, like myself. And there'll be a lot of other people of renown that are there. I'm not mentioning everybody's name, but you can check it out at Terry Cummings Golf Classic.com. The whole point of it is to be able to raise funds through the foundation, so that we can extend what we do, what I do in Georgia, back here at home in outreach, feeding, clothing, providing opportunities for people, job wise, with through the relationships that we build through Terry Cummings Foundation. But ultimately, it is to have an impact here in Chicago. I've been gone a long time, and I've been waiting for the opportunity to do something that I think is big, but not as big as what I want to overall do. But it is the beginning of putting my imprint back down here in Chicago.
So let
Well,
me ask this question because some people may know, but I don't know. Is that did you? I mean, you played at DePaul, but did you live
Mhm.
in Chicago?
Oh yeah, I was actually born in Hammond, Indiana, at St. Margaret's Hospital, but raised in Chicago.
Okay, so he's real. He's a real Chicagoan.
and
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
St. Margaret just closed down in the recent
No,
years. Yeah, they have torn it down, shut it down, torn it down. Yeah.
they just final. They made it final. We ain't having no more kids here.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, you probably shouldn't have in the later years, I tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
but Terry, in terms of the golf outing, the work that you've been doing, um, the business success that you've had, and the lives that you have inspired, of all the things you've done, what is the most fulfilling thing from your perspective? I know there's too many to count, but is anything that really stands out, that really excites you about what you're doing and how you're doing it?
No, it's never been one thing outside of ministry and the real true relationship with Christ that has been more inspiring to me than coming home. We've been out at Carver High School running camps for over 20 some years. And even while playing in the league, I had no greater joy than coming home knowing that, we had a whole week with the kids out in Olive Gardens and the surrounding areas, and we also had the opportunity to really impact the lives of young people through the camp, not through the preaching or anything like that, but by living a life in front of them, giving them skills that were not just basketball skills, but life skills, teaching them the importance of how teamwork helps every other thing. Like, I personally believe people who have played team sports are somewhat better off than people who have never learned to play with people,
Mm,
never understood roles and how to sometimes be out front, sometimes to be behind. But team sports teach you that.
yeah, yeah. One of the other things I'd ask, and I know LaDonna has a number of questions that she's going to ask, but I'm going to get my last one in right now. You played against Michael Jordan, and I saw a
Mhm.
picture that you have you and Michael Jordan. And tell me, now I heard you took him to the hoop a number of times, but he probably took you also. Tell me about your experience in terms of the NBA. What was it like in terms of your experience playing against Michael Jordan or playing against some of the greatest because you're one of the greatest?
I appreciate that. My experience with Mike, we played on the same team in the summer pro-am leagues at Chicago State, Malcolm X, Triton College. So we had a kind of unique relationship in that regard because I knew him, and I don't care who you are. If you played in the NBA, Michael got you. He got you at some point in time, and that includes me. But my greatest joy was that. playing, come home, no matter who I was playing with. When I came to Chicago to play, I came with the best game. I came with my best game. I laced them up real hard and tight. And I knew that after every game, it wasn't just for me, it was for all my friends and my family, my community that I came from. Roseland, Allgale Gardens, all those people were looking up to my man. T still got game. He still, because you got to come home and play. Playing against Mike is the pinnacle. I mean, he is the best of the best. So if you don't show up, you won't show up. You know.
Well, I know when you say playing against Mike, but I think I've seen some highlights of you taking Mike and put it on him at the same time. So not only did he give it, but you gave it back to him at the same time. So that had to be quite an experience. But what I am excited about, I'm gonna pass it down because I know I could go on a little bit too long. But LaDonna, go ahead. I know you got a couple questions you want to ask.
Yeah, you talked about reaching out to young people, and these young people are so solidified by the social media aspect, what's on their phones and what's in social media, what's cool. How do you work around penetrating that to get them their focus back in the game?
Well, I think the way that it works for me is finding something that they like and using it as a tool to train them to see the world for what it really is. Because the world is fabricated via social media, just like it is regular media. So we have to find a balance, something that is kind of central to them, and utilize that as a teaching tool. When I played in San Antonio, my youngest son, who was high school age, I was a single parent with him through high school. He would bring home a bunch of his friends all the time, and they would want to come hang around the house and stuff. So I came up with a plan. I said, figure if they're going to be here, let me do something with them. And so
Mm.
what I did was I told them they could come on Friday, hang out. I'd cook for them on Saturday. And on Sunday, you got to get up and go to church with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so these kids are really connected and interconnected with each other. And what we're trying to do with one, we could do with all of them if we understand what they're doing. What, and because part of it is they're inclusive to each other, in that if one of them does something, they all do it. And so this was the mindset of the young men that I dealt with at the time in San Antonio. And I've kept on going with it because they decided when they went to church, if one of them went down to the altar, they were all going. And so
Mm.
when we went to church on one particular Sunday, it was probably about 15 of the boys. They all, one by one, went down to the altar. I went down with them just to make them feel safe. And they were led to the Lord. And the thing that really was the kicker is when the service was over, we were walking out because I would then take them to IHOP or somewhere and we'd eat after church. And we were walking out. We were in the vestibule, and I kept hearing somebody holler, "Hey, hey!" And it was an older woman, a mother, and she came up to me and she said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "How do you get young people to come to church like that and enjoy it?" Because they were into the service, they were into the music, they were dancing, they were clapping. They street kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told her, I said, she said, "How do you get them to do it?" I said, "Well, the first thing is you can't be afraid of them. And secondly, you can't be afraid to invite them into places that are personal and private to you, because it's the only way they're going to learn some things.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do the kibbles and bits, those little things that are and hope it works. No, you have to put you into it. And myself being actively, I believe at the time toward the end of my NBA career, was still important to be able to rival that little testosterone that they have inside of them. By being able to offer them opportunities they wouldn't get. Like we would set up literally on Saturdays and have a question and an answer service in my
Mhm.
house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
So
love
Hey,
that.
if I were to answer it just simply, is you cannot be afraid of them, and you have to be able to open up your home. And I say this respectfully because I know that this is not always the safest thing to do, but you do it to the ability that you're able to do it with a comfortability that you're able to stick to.
My final question to you, Mr. Cummings, is we have a conference coming up, as you well know, because you're gonna be there,
Right.
thankfully. But professional sports and entrepreneurship are both high pressure environments. What lessons from playing nearly 2 decades in the NBA translate directly into running a successful business?
Well, the first thing is the thing I mentioned earlier about teamwork, learning how to work together, even with your own team in business. And secondly, I think with business, one of the greatest lessons I learned is the art of delegation, knowing that you don't have to do everything and knowing when to do what you need to do, when to pull the plug, when to just let them ride it out. I've hired people who didn't have a clue as to what the job really entailed, but what I liked about them was their faithfulness and their focus. And because they were faithful, consistent, and focused, I would put people in positions to learn a job and fail, because a good leader has no problem with his people failing as long as he or she knows that they're growing into the position. And I've been, pretty adamant about putting people in positions not because of the skills they possess, but because of the abilities to be consistent and trustworthy, faithful.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
need. Larry,
Yeah.
I heard that Terry is a golfer. I mean,
Mm-mm.
one of our chamber leaders
Mm.
also happens to be an accomplished golfer himself. He's been featured nationally for his golf accomplishments. So we wanted to bring him into the conversation. Is all this true, or am I making this up?
I don't. This for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you was talking about somebody else
Well, I'm
golfing.
bringing on
I, you,
Dr.
you
Jeffrey
know,
Sterling too.
I
Yeah.
golfed for a while, and then I probably haven't picked up sticks in over 30 years. And I'll tell you why. It's because I'm real heavy into my business of entertainment. So I'm always producing, writing. I've got 5 music projects out, dating back from '07 to I just put one out in March of this year. So I stay real busy, and I'm a true pastor 24/7 for the people God's given me, not just in Georgia, but all over the country and the world. Um,
Yeah.
Golf,
Hey,
I enjoy the golf cart way more right now.
well,
Well,
But
hey,
I enjoy watching people golf. I know how the game is played. I just haven't done it in a while.
all right.
so,
Well, Dr.
well,
Jeffrey Sterling, he's not only a respected business leader and Illinois State Black Chamber member, but he's also an accomplished golfer whose passion for the sport has earned national recognition. Larry?
yeah, Dr. Sterling. Hey, glad to have you on. I wanted him to get a chance because I know he's an avid golfer. He's in
Hmm.
golf magazines. He's always golfing all around the world. So I said, well, I got to have Dr. Sterling come on and just ask a question about your handicap. So,
Yeah.
Oh, no, 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 no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Look, let me point something out. First of all, I got 3 things I want to point out, and I'm going to be real quick about it. First of all, Reverend, thank you for what you do. The diversity of your portfolio is truly amazing. Here's something for you guys. You guys probably didn't know this, but Terry is actually the only NBAer who ever outscored Michael Jordan in a playoff series. How about that?
oh, I didn't know that.
By a single point, actually, when he was with the Bucks. Am I correct, TC?
You're correct.
He's my guy.
I
I
didn't know
I
it
was
till somebody
Northwestern
brought it up.
at Northwestern, so I followed him forever. Second thing, this is not about playing golf. Golf actually is something that you do, and it's very connected with business. I want to pick up what you put down, LaDonna, and pick up on a comment that Pastor Cummins said earlier. The reason why you golf really isn't to shoot a score. If you're paying on the front end, you're really not that good. It's the people who get paid on the back end that are the true golfers.
Hmm.
I've played over 700 courses around the world, and here's what I've learned about it. It's about the quality of the experience. It's about the people that you meet on the golf
That's
course.
right.
And in the context of this conversation, and I know you do an outing, and the point that I would like to make for people that would choose to participate, MBAers represent a huge trove of accessible capital and the ability to network and to bring ideas that could lead to direct business opportunities. That's really the essence of the sport. When I first started playing, back when I was, back in the days when physicians would take off Wednesdays and play golf, you learned a few things. Sometimes you go-kart riding with your friends, you hang out. Those of us, I suspect that Terry has a swing like mine used to be, where you were playing baseball as much as anything else, and you're just knocking the heck out of the ball
Yeah.
and be hanging out with your friends. But later, that really evolved into an opportunity to conduct business. So I want to put in a plug for his golf outing, and people, no matter what your skill level is, if you truly an opportunity to present great ideas, you're going to be in an environment where great people are there who have capital and who may be willing to listen to you. And it's about expanding your network and building the team. I know that that's what he's been about his entire career, for the multiple careers that he's had. And that's how you frame this, because there's money out there and networks and business to be conducted. And one more thing, I am going to throw in an unashamed plug for the brother, because he won't do it himself. He mentioned all of his musical talents. You guys might want to check out TC Finally. And I think that was your first album. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he actually has done the thing. And I just want to celebrate and congratulate all that you've done and what you continue to represent. So thanks for having me on.
I
Dr. Sterling,
appreciate you. Appreciate it.
Terry, how does he get in touch with you for PR work?
Um,
No, I'm saying, Dr. Sterling, it sounds like he's going to be your representative. He's going to be
I see
representing
what you
Terry.
said. No, I think he's already done
Yes.
it. I appreciate that.
All of us have parts of
He's
ourselves.
actually very. I mean, it's true. I've never been really good at promoting Terry Cummings, but I've been very good at serving, and it's been my heart. The core of everything I do is just do the work.
Mhm.
Let everybody else do the talking. Even though I know this generation is about something different, I just was raised by a bunch of old heads who told me, you don't believe everything they write about you, just do the work.
Mhm. Put it in the work, and
That's
that's
right.
Hmm.
Terry. So if you had to lead the audience with something um, that you want them to understand about you and about being successful in business, what would you depart to our listening audience?
I guess just in a nutshell, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to overextend yourself. To the extent that you're capable of handling it, and just live and enjoy life. I mean, business is a great thing. You make money, you make a living, but I had a lesson that was taught me in college by a Jewish friend of mine that I never forgot. And he told me, he said, I lost $1 million today in the market. And I looked at him because, back then I was real poor. And $1 million sounded like way out of reach. And
Uh-huh.
but he shook his head. He said, "But I'm not worried about it." He said, "Because the next day I got 3 to 4 million dollars of it. I earned $3 or $4 million the next day." And he told me something that I never forgot. After that, he said, "If you make money and you build all these industries and corporations, but you never have someone to share it with, you're going to be the unhappiest person in the world." And it's true, because after you've made money and you've gotten all the houses, the cars, you've gotten all the stuff you wanted, and there's nothing else left, there's only mischief. That's when we get in trouble and fail for real. Because your mind is heavy, weighed down with nothing, and so nothing finds something for you to do.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, some people are like a leaf at the mercy of the wind. Whatever the wind blows, they blow. But it's when you're grounded and you
Hmm.
stand for something. And I'm proud of the fact we get a chance to serve Black business owners unapologetically. And we know if we strengthen Black business, we're strengthening Black people. And that's our mission. Terry, we are so excited to have you on you're going to be on the panel with the legendary John Rogers, who is probably the only person that we know who has beat Michael Jordan at his own basketball one-on-one.
Now I've heard that about 5 times already. I know Mike, if he's listening or watching, he'll probably show up. Let's do a rematch. It's just his personality.
He didn't never like losing, did he?
Uh,
But well, again, guys, it's been such an honor and a pleasure to have Terry you on, and you're going to be in on September the 9th and 10th. September you'll fly in on the 9th, but you'll be at our VIP breakfast, and you'll join us with a host of other dignitaries at the conference where we're really laying it out, and we're making this conference all about economic Black sovereignty and creating our own economic destiny and being connected. Do you have any perspective on how we look at Mother Africa from a business point of view? And then we're gonna close it out with you, because I know Dr. Sterling and I do a lot of things on the international side.
hmm
Is that something that you're dabbling into, or is that something that you even given any thought to?
For me, I both deal with it from a ministerial perspective, working with different ministries over in other countries. Business wise, one of my last acting bits about a year or two ago was with a Nigerian group, and so it's just a great thing to be able to see how business is done in other places. I read a lot, and I see that Africa has become a bed of great investment opportunities in this season. And especially with, in some ways, the demise of what things are going on in America, how they're going on in America. But it's opened up a lot of pathways for them, and so I'm looking at them right now because I really think it's not just potentially a great opportunity; it's an opportunity, period. To invest over and to learn how the mother country or the motherland is has formed into something more than just a bunch of backwoods people that folk want to see a mess.
Super. Well, it's been our pleasure having you on. Dr. Sterling, if you could stay on, we're going to let Pastor Cummings sign off, and then we're going to continue our conversation. We're excited, looking forward to seeing you, Pastor Cummings, and
Well,
business.
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Are y'all going to be there this on the 24th at the golf outing?
Well, I may be there, but I surely won't be golfing. I'll just tell you my bad experience. I worked for Merrill Lynch,
Mm.
and we had a scratch game, and I was playing at the Durango golf course, and I was with a bunch of I wouldn't say brothers, it was a bunch of guys who worked for Merrill Lynch, and they wouldn't like me. They wouldn't black. And that first ball I hit in that thin air, I drove it like Tiger Woods, and I thought this was going to be the ultimate treat for me. After the second hole, they had to force me to play the second. I mean, the back round because my game was so bad. It was so frustrating. I'm so competitive sometimes. It was so frustrating. I just said, I'm never going to pick up a golf club. And that was probably 25 years ago. And I have never picked up a golf club since then because the amount of frustration that little white ball cost me was just absolutely embarrassing. Yeah.
well,
I'm gonna
well, I'm
put
gonna
him
get
on
a
the
cart.
spot, Terry. Terry, I'm gonna put him
Huh?
on the spot. Your question was, will you be there? You didn't ask if he was gonna pick up a
Yeah, I got
club.
room for you in the
I may
cart
be
next to me
there.
because I'll be in
Well,
the cart driving.
okay.
You can drive with me.
Look, man, hey, that's what I'll do. I'll be there. I'll be there.
I
Okay, hey,
appreciate it.
nothing but
Thank
love
you all.
for you. Take care.
Thank
All right,
you.
God bless y'all.
See you at the golf outing and the
I'll be looking for
conference.
y'all.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
Dr. Serling, we still have you on. We're going to delve right into, guys, this incredible conference that we have labored so so hard to make it right for Black business. We've made it. When I say for Black people, I mean it for anyone who wants to be a successful business person. We have put our time and energy, our souls into it. I know LaDonna Raeh has been working with the team around the clock to make this thing happen. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the conference, what's coming up. And the first thing I'll say is that we made it reasonable. When you take a look at what we're offering for entertainment to iconic figures like Terry Cummings, John Rogers, and so many other leaders, is that just to be around some of the corporations like ComEd, Nicor Gas, Emeren, and other major corporations who are there to do business with African American business owners is a treat. And for $375, you can't beat this phenomenal day, 2 days that we're going to have. So we're going to start with a little bit of what we're going to give you a little bit of the agenda in terms of it. But I'm going to start first. Maybe pivot again. I'm going to start first with Dr. Jeffrey Sterling. Dr. Sterling, you've been a part of the chamber. You're the head of the healthcare committee. You do global business. Give us the audience just a little bit more perspective. And then, why do you think coming to the conference? Because you put out a video also talking about why people should come to the conference. Give us your perspective on the conference and why people should come.
Well, the reason why they should come is because they're in business. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. The conference actually represents different things for different people. First and foremost, that $375 that you mentioned is an investment and it's a bet that I would place every single time. People should be aware that through the matchmaking and direct networking opportunities, you have an opportunity to increase that investment 1,000 times over. Every year at this conference, people through the matchmaking and other networking opportunities get contracts in the hundreds of thousands of dollars at least. And that's verifiable. So if you believe that you have a product, goods, or service that is marketable, then come on with it. There will be people there that are there for the explicit purpose of conducting business with people who are at the conference. So I don't know that if you're being practical about it, there's much other reason that you would need to come other than to say, hey, there's some money there. I want to get my hands on it. Beyond that, for every level of your business, there's information and knowledge that you can acquire that will facilitate your growth and your ability to be prepared to conduct business. I don't know that there is another meeting anywhere in the state on an annual basis that provides readiness in the way that this conference does. So it's not about emotion, it's not about motivation, although it includes all of those things. There's a very practical consideration that this is the forum by which you have opportunities to directly invest without having to make 500 phone calls, chase people down, and hope to get a crumb, a meeting crumb, or otherwise. So it is a great time, and it's really a place where you need to be if you're serious about conducting business.
Well, thank you, Dr. Sterling. I know you would make it as simple and as easy for everyone to understand. LaDonna, let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen on the first day. The first day of the conference, which will be on September the 9th at the Wind Creek Casino Hotel in Southland, we kick off with the matchmaking. The matchmaking is one of our events where we bring over 25 different companies and agencies together who have been committed, and we've asked them to commit to it. So we don't just ask them to come. And this year we've told people, look, if you're not interested in just being a number, we prefer that you not come. We don't care what organization you are, what company you are. If you're interested and you have an opportunity and you're interested in doing business with people, black people or people of color, then we want you to be a part of the matchmaking session. And we have incredible companies, Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies, agency heads who are there for one reason and one reason only, to find African American business owners that are ready, willing, and able, that can perform. And it's our job to make sure that we put you in front of them. So if you're a business person, you're listening to this, or if you have a friend who's in business, you want to tell them that you have an opportunity to be in front of probably over 25 different companies who will be there throughout the conference so that you network, but you're also going to run into other business people who are in your industry, who are more successful than you are in some cases, that can mentor and coach you. And so that's really kind of the highlight of that matchmaking. LaDonna, you've been a part of the matchmaking. What say ye in terms of why matchmaking to you was important?
Matchmaking to me is important because if you're not prepared for matchmaking, you will get prepared for matchmaking, which is something you should already have in place. I like the fact that we have a support team that helps with getting you prepared for prime time. So, if you have a business, which I'm sure most of you do, and you want access to doing business, not when you hear government contracts, you're like, okay, that's too big. No, it's bigger than that. You want the opportunity to sit down with someone who is a decision maker and they can decide in that meeting that they want to do business with you. So I was able to sit down with universities, utility companies. There was another company I sat down with, and we actually started forming a relationship. And for in forming that relationship, I wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise. Not to the extent that it was formed from that moment, but hoping that you'll meet someone that can pull the trigger or send an email or receive one is a greater risk than being in a matchmaking session where they're right there and you're scheduled and you sit down with them. That's your time. I can present who I am as a business, as a company, my capacity, my capability statement. And that's when they give me, should I say, a little bit of criticism, constructive criticism, what I need to do better, or that they see what's on paper, it will actually work for them so that we can do business and follow up on Monday.
Hey, well, Dr. Sterling, we know that you got 101 things to do. We definitely appreciate your leadership and your global perspective and all the things you do to make healthcare more affordable. And this give us, before you leave, Simcoe Solution. Tell people why Simcoe is good for America in a few moments before we let you go?
Well, the Simcoe solution is basically represents two sides of the coin. At the beginning of the conversation, the notion that you have to wait for disease to present before you start to get well is a premise that's deadly to America and certainly devastating to the African American community. We are all about teaching people to stay ready so you don't have to get well. It's nothing more complicated than that. And teaching people to be better stewards of their own health care is an absolute must. We talk a lot about lifespan, but people need to learn to think in terms of health span. Life really is about the number of healthy, productive years that you have being able to perform the activities of daily living in a way where you represent the best version of yourself. And we give you the tools to make that happen. We're doing that around the world. We still strive to accomplish that on a broad scale in Illinois. And our goal really is nothing more than changing the paradigm away from what we call sick care to preventive care. And we hope that everybody thinks about everything that you put in your mouth either hurts or helps you, that you need to stay active, you need to train for your activities. It's just like in the NBA, where you practice harder than you actually play. Your life has to be about preparation. We want you to move with intention and serve with purpose. That simple construct applies in so many facets of life, and that's what the Simcoe solution is all about on the health side of the coin. The flip side of the coin is about economic empowerment. This is very much a business conversation. We do well by doing good. And teaching people how to conduct their health. We want to empower as many businesses as possible to network and participate in that process. And that doesn't just include people in the healthcare space. It includes attorneys, lawyers, janitorial services, PR firms, whatever the case may be. We want to promote networking together and building this infrastructure for our own. Every other community in this country does it. In every sector of business, we have to learn how to grow our capacity. If you're an entrepreneur, stop being a solopreneur if you can. And that doesn't necessarily mean just hiring people. It means growing capacity by networking with others who can help you and create force multipliers for your business. So that's what the Simcoe solution is about. And we're promoting this certainly in Illinois, across the country, and around the world.
Well, hey, Dr. So I'm going to give you the title. You are the Michael Jordan of healthcare to me. Um, and you've been a great advocate for me to get healthy. And so much love for you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And LaDonna and I will rock and roll on the rest of the show, man. So you can sign off and we'll keep on rolling.
See you soon.
Okay. LaDonna, getting back to the conference, we have, there's a bunch of people who have videos out talking about when they went to matchmaking and the deals that were made that they said they would never miss a conference. And it's on our website where you can hear people, actual people talking about the networking. Sam Stidwell, if he's here, we love to have Sam to call in at WVON. We can give him the number just in case Sam is listening because he normally listens. But him and a number of friends that he works with in Champaign have been benefactors of the work of the matchmaking session. Moving from the matchmaking, LaDonna, we have a number of mini seminars will be going on simultaneously at the matchmaking. And the first workshop is going to be the SBA and bankers talking about capital access because we know you cannot grow and scale a business without having some degree of capital. For those who can do it without that, that is a rarity to be able to do it. You have to have capital in order to employ people, to grow your company, to buy products, goods, and services. So capital access is one of the biggest reasons why businesses fail. So we're going to have capital access conversation that's going on. And we're going to have on the mini seminars while while the matchmaking is going on, we're going to have Hillary Scott, who is one of the leaders in DCO when it comes to funding for energy, solar energy, alternative energy. There's an enormous amount of money out there. She's going to come and lay down how you can get to those resources. You don't want to miss that. If you're um, a city or a town, you want to come and hear from them because these funds are available in a competitive form to everybody. And so you need to take advantage of that. So if you listen to this and you're a city manager, someone, you want to come to the conference to hear Hillary. And then we have none other than Reuben Hopkins, who is the president of the Wisconsin Black Chamber Conference. He has, LaDonna, created an app where you
Hmm.
go anywhere in the world and you can, well, anywhere in the United States. It's like what we used to do when we had to travel. We had certain places we could go to. He has to created an app all across the United States where any state you go into, you got the Black Chamber of Commerce, you got the Black hotels. I did not know, and I consider I'm a guy in business throughout the state that knows. He said there's six Black hotel owners in Chicago. I'm like, for real? He said, yeah. He said, let me walk you through. There's
And
six of
we not talking about East of the Ryan. I just want everybody to know that. So go
them.
ahead.
Absolutely. So he's going to be there also. After that, LaDonna, we're going to have an event, and you've done an incredible flyer that we're going to be getting out about the procurement matchmaking. And procurement is such an important topic because that's where um, corporations like ComEd, Ameren, they procure goods and services. Our job is to meet with those companies to make sure that Black business owners can sell their goods and services, whether it be engineering firms, construction firms, marketing firms, IT firms. We create a pathway for them to get in front of those major corporations so that they can present themselves and do business. So we're going to have this conversation that's different than anything we've seen before. We're going to have people like, we invited Charlotte Roberts with the head of the chief procurement officer for the city of Chicago, for the great city of Chicago. And we're going to have people from different industries, CPO, Ellen Daly has been invited. We're going to have all these different people in procurement, the APO from the Department of Corrections, all different types of agency, all different types of company. And we're going to have this town hall meeting slash conversation where we're going to delve into what we can do in order to make procurement better and create more successes for Black businesses. LaDonna, I'm gonna because I know I'm rolling on this, but I want you to interject anything that you want to highlight. I mean, we can go down the schedule, but is there something you want to highlight in terms of it?
Of course. The AI panel. As
Okay,
a matter of fact, I was gonna put the graphic up for it, but I just needed like one more minute to do that.
okay. Well, I tell you, let me continue to go on. Then I'll let you
Okay.
jump in after
And
you.
we do have a caller too.
Okay,
All right.
so let me give you this one, and then we're doing the thing on the construction side, where we're going to have major contractors, white and Black. We're going to have Capital Development Board, IDOT, the tollway, vertical and horizontal construction. We're going to have agency heads and organization heads like BCO and Black Contractors United. The BLC will be a part of this whole conversation in terms of procurement on the procurement side of general services and professional services, and then we'll have the construction side also. So it's going to be an incredible conversation where we're going to have two moderators, as it would be like Donahue and Oprah, all converging together and having this incredible conversation. And when I said Donahue, LaDonna gave me a smirk, so I don't know if I should use that.
It's all
We may
good.
have
It's
another
all
co-host,
good.
but that's what's going to happen on that first day, and then after that, we have entertainment for tonight. So you can let down your hair, do some massive networking. You're going to have the news, a leader of Alwyn. The lottery will be there at the welcome reception. You're going to meet some very powerful people who will be at the welcome reception. You're going to have some incredible entertainment that you don't want to miss, and that's all included in that $375 investment that you make at this event. So that's the first day of the conference. So you can say matchmaking, a lot of different companies. You can see capital access, and you can see other things. But we also, the following day, we're going to have something that should be important to all of us. So now I'm going to throw it to you. This is your area. Talk to
Oh,
me. Tell me
I,
about what you're going to be doing.
look, we're going to be doing an AI panel, artificial intelligence. I know you guys hear it and you're like, whatever, I'm not ready. But I will be moderating alongside with, I think Dr. Michael Crawley will agree, right?
Mhm.
Here's the thing: we're going to do 90 minutes to discuss what we'll move beyond the headlines that you all have been reading. We want you to walk away with something that you didn't know before. So it's not a technical session. It's designed for people like you. It's a practical, thought provoking conversation for decision makers who want to understand how AI is reshaping industries. and creating new opportunities. Don't get scared when you hear, oh, it's taking our jobs, it's going to run the world. But we want you to understand how it's going to be changing the way organizations compete. Panelists will explore the rapid evolution of artificial intelligence, why it's here to stay, how it works, and how it can work for you, not necessarily against you. So, beyond that, we're going to be talking about AI tools, the broader AI ecosystem, infrastructure, how about emerging technologies, all of the like. So, that's going to be the AI
Without,
panel.
let me ask this question. Will
Yeah.
you, for a person like me, will you show me some things that if I did this would make my life easier? Because I know that you use AI and all these other incredible things. I need you to share with me some of the things that you do because I'm running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. And then you tell me, so I'm like, damn, I've been doing this the wrong way for just absolutely stressing myself out. When if I would understand AI and use it this way in my business, it would make my life more efficient and better. So we're going to have you're going to have some practical tips for no matter who you are, how you can use AI to become more efficient and grow your business faster.
So, to answer your question, yes. I want to grab this caller.
Okay.
Bianchi, you're live on WVON on the Wake Up Show. Welcome.
I've been listening to you, and Ivory, you made mention about doing business in Africa. Yes, there's a lot of opportunities that can be done over there, but the key point is that you have to be doing that which you want to do there here in the United States, because just like the axle of a bicycle, where the frame attaches to, that's the U.S., and as those spokes protrude out to the perimeter of the rim, that's the rest of the world. And if you ever have problems while you're out there in the perimeter of the world, you can always come back and recuperate back at the hub at your home. Yes, there's a lot of opportunities there, and you have to know them too.
Yeah. Thank you,
From
Bianchi.
shipping, agriculture, and a whole lot of things. And one other thing too, LaDonna, you should take the time out to attend the International Poultry and Production Expo that's held in Atlanta around March of every year. It runs for about 4 days, and people from around the world bring and display their mechanical apparatus that they use for food production and other things that people can get a look at and see where technology is taking the industry.
Thank you, Bianchi. I appreciate that.
The-
Larry, one thing you
yeah.
did teach me is that, and what we've seen here, yes, we need to tighten up here in the United States. But that bicycle he was mentioning, sometimes the United States is poking holes in your tires. And when you take your bike to another country, such as doing business internationally, somehow we don't get the same issues as the poked holes. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Hey, if you're not thinking globally, you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
Africa is going to be one of the greatest economic growth areas in the world, undeniable. But every economist who's worth their salt will tell you that the growth is going to happen in Africa, and we better get in front of it. We are the brothers and sisters from Africa. They took us from Africa. We're coming back home, and we're going to create economic sovereignty, economic wealth, and that's what it's all about. Hey, let me also quickly do a shout out to Mintex, Jesse Thomas. Jesse is not going to be at the conference. I am disappointed, Jesse. I wanted you to know, but when I told Jesse he has something going on with his kid for college and he has to be there, and we understand that. But he said, Larry, I want to support the chamber. So I'm giving away 2 free tickets. I'm
Mm.
buying 2 tickets, and we're going to use those tickets because we got some young people, over 30 young people coming to the conference to learn about construction, learn about AI, learn about all these things that we're offering in terms of it. And so thank you, Jesse, Mintex. Hey, if you listen to this, Mintex is one of the great organizations that does collections. Uh, Now, it's not that anyone wants Jesse calling them, but if someone's going to call you and someone's going to make money, it ought to be someone that looks like us, who has a phenomenal company that does incredible work. So if you know of anyone who's doing this, mention Mentex, Jesse Thomas, and call me, and I'll put Jesse in contact with you because we want Jesse to continue to grow, strive, and make a lot of money because Jesse understands the power of giving back. And we need more people to understand that and giving more back to the organization, more back to the Black community, and more back to us collectively. So shout out to Jesse.
All
Hey,
right, shout out. I got two more callers real quick,
oh, okay.
and I want to
Yes.
answer this question. Yes, if you're thinking of opening a business, should you attend? Yes. All right, guys, we're going to give you 60 seconds. Let's go with Karen. Karen, welcome.
Real quick, I don't know about going to Africa, but I know a young lady named LaDonna Raeh that went right over to Gary and she walked her talk. And leaders today, in order to be a real leader, you got to be able to do that. And I just say this to you over the airwaves, LaDonna Raeh. You are a real jewel. You are a leader. You got on the airwaves the other day and you went and made it happen. You went over to Gary. You drove to Gary. So we could talk all we want about making leaders and making people. And listen, we don't have to learn how to make money. We need to learn how to take care of business. LaDonna, you take care of business. Okay, it's a big difference. Anybody can make money. Everybody can't take care of business. And right now, we've had a lot of people in leadership positions that made money, never took care of business. Now they, 50, 60, 70, trying to come back and teach. LaDonna, walk your walk. You went over to Gary. Love you, girl.
Thank you. All right, let's go straight to Randy. Randy, you're live real quick.
Okay, I'm going to be quick and everything. Grand Rising, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
There's two things. One, I want to mention that it's so important. Black business is extremely important to me. I also want to try to make sure that I want to become a member of the Black Chamber of Commerce and stuff, to get the membership and get the information. But the last thing is this. The Marcus Garvey Festival is going to be held at the Basu Farms, today, Saturday and Sunday in Pembroke, Illinois, 1,300, 1 month and 13,000 south in the Pembroke Township. And it's about black people supporting other black businesses and stuff like that. And like I said, they're going to have the Marcus Garvey Festival 15th and 16th, Pembroke, Illinois. Today, still 15th and 16th. Take care.
Randy, hold on. Just hold on. Let them get your information, okay?
Sure, of course. Sure.
All right, thanks.
I know our time is running out. It goes by so fast. But I just want to quickly do a quick highlight. We're going to have Dr. Dolores Thomas, John Rogers, heads of agency. It's going to be an incredible time. Don't miss the conference. Go get registered before it's too late because it can sell out, and be a part of this incredible opportunity for you to expand. And like they used to say, if you come to the conference, something good is going to happen. Don't miss out this opportunity. Don't miss this opportunity for you to expand, grow, and impact your business. We're going to be talking about the conference coming up to the conference, and we just a shout out to everyone. We're also doing Destiny Child. We're working with Destiny Child on the Reimagine Tour, which is going to be in Chicago, the last stop for the tour on the 29th of August. So if you want tickets, you can give us a call. The Chamber is involved in working with Matthew Knowles and the team there. So again, guys, much love. Stay up and always look out for each other. Strengthen each other's hand. If no matter where you're at, you can be better. You can always better your best. LaDonna, much love for you. And you guys can go to our website at ilbcc.org. And we'll talk to you soon.
That's what I was going to say. Go to the website. Make sure you register now. Don't wait till Monday. Register now. ilbcc.org. We're here each and every Saturday. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Wind Creek Chicago Southland. And that's the casino, guys. Also, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share the show. We're on Facebook. Share the show. Share the information because the future's in your hands. All right? We'll see you next Saturday. I'll see you Monday. That's it for the Wake Up Show Chicago. Dr. LaDonna Raeh, Dr. Larry Ivory, signing off. Bye-bye for now. All right, guys. If you want to stay on with us, we are still on. We're going to do a recap real quick. We're off the air. We're off the air, but we want you guys to stay with us on the podcast version of the Wake Up Show Chicago.
Hey, LaDonna.
Yeah.
That picture of Dr. Dolores Thomas, That's not her.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
think we got that mixed up with the other picture, so we would need to change that one.
There we go. Okay. She's like, wow, is that me? No, sorry. All right, hold on. Let me mute them. All right, cool. Well, it's just you and I. All right, so guys, if you're listening to us, go ahead and drop a comment in the chat. No matter if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, drop a comment. I hope we answered the young man's question. He said, "If I don't have a business, should I still come to the conference?" Tell us why that's important, Larry.
Well, I think if you don't have a business, doesn't mean one day you won't have a business. And developing a relationship with people who can help you no matter where you're at, who can give you advice and give you counsel. Young people need strong women and men to lead them. A lot of times, young people, like my son, I love him dearly, but sometimes when you're 24, you think you know a lot and you don't know enough. And sometimes you should be listening, not interrupting just to jump in and share your comments. He's a great kid. I love him dearly, but he's a man now. And
Mm-hmm.
what we don't see young people doing enough of is sitting back and listening because we have been there, we've done that. Not that the world hasn't changed, but the power of being around people who have made it happen and being able to tap into those resources, I think is essential. And our young people, in my opinion, we got to make sure that they become greater than we ever been. Everybody parent wants their son or their daughter to be greater, to go farther, to be stronger at the same time than you've ever been. So that's exciting. We're going to be, we're going to be putting it down, LaDonna, making it happen.
What do you think some of the biggest mistakes are that people make when they go to a conference like ours?
I think they really go to the conference and they're not prepared. They don't come trying to have a specific goal and objective that they want to achieve. It's like when you go into an event, you say, look, I want to get one or two things out of this event and be clear about it. And then focus on getting that. You want to find, like you could say, look, I want to find someone in my industry that's doing what I'm doing, but doing it more successful. I need a mentor. I
Mhm.
want to find one or two people I can talk to that I can get my goods and services to, and I need to target and listen very carefully to where the greatest opportunity is. And that means that you really got to listen when you're talking to people who are sitting across from the table and say something unique and different because people, when you're meeting a bunch of people at an event, when you leave that event, you don't remember half of the people that you saw. What are you saying to people that make them remember you? That
Mm.
when they think about the conference, they think about you.
But wait a minute. If it's hard for you to remember them, it could be hard for them to remember you.
Absolutely.
So how do we get around that? Because I use Blink. I know they're not sponsoring a dang on thing, but I use my digital card, and everybody that scans my card, if they choose to exchange information, then I will have a tally of everyone that I met on that day. The other thing is people are walking up and bumping phones so that they can exchange information. But here's the problem with that. You go into my address book. If I don't remember your name, I don't know where to find you. You're in there, but I don't know who you are.
Well,
So,
see,
yeah.
and that's why I said now is that you have to make an impression when somebody, even if, when you first walk in the door, where you say your name and where you shake their hand and where you look them in the eye, you want people to remember something about you among all the other people that they say, man, I remember her. I remember him because they did this. They said this. They made me feel, it's important to distinguish yourself so people remember who you are. You got to figure out what your hook is. You got to figure out what's that. How do I make someone remember me? Uh, by it's any number of things that you can do, but it's up to you to decide how to leave a lasting impression on people.
I think I
You
just
know?
came up with an idea.
Okay, go ahead, LaDonna.
You know how we take pictures with people at events and we
Mm,
still don't know who that is? I might
mhm.
need to put my name on a card saying Dr. LaDonna Raeh. And when we take that picture, each of us hold up the card so that in the picture, it tells you who that is and you'll remember who that was. I think
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah,
I think we should
yeah,
do that.
Yeah, the other thing that we think about, if you're meeting with someone and you take a picture with the person you just been trying to do business with, and you send them a picture with you and say, "Hey, I had a great time talking to you. I really look forward to it." I mean, that would really. I mean, if someone sent me that, I would be like, "Dang, I want to help
Wait,
that person."
well, actually, no. I take you one step. This is what I do. I take a picture with them, and I'll say, "It was a great. It was great meeting you, Dr. Larry Ivory, with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
Hmm.
This is Dr. LaDonna Raeh, and it was great meeting. I'm going to say meeting you at the conference. That way I know where we met, who you are, what the name of your business is,
And
and
I'm looking
I might even put in there why we need to communicate. Because
right.
again, I may know your name and who you're with, but why are we talking?
Yeah, well, it's about execution. Like it said about sports. Sports is a team. Is a team. You have a role to play in sports. You got to know when to pass the ball. You got to know when the quarterback throws the ball. You got to know all those things in order to be able to successfully win the game. And so when you think about it, being in sports is something that can be very helpful for you in terms of team and success at the same time. So, hey, man, this is going to be a fantastic conference, LaDonna. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be as creative, but I love that concept of taking a picture and say, "Hey, here's who I am," boom, and then I'm looking forward to talking to you. And it was a pleasure. If someone sent that to me, I would feel obligated. I mean, I
Right.
would literally feel obligated to call them back and follow up with them. I really would. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think there's no way I could not do it. So again, hey, there's a nugget right there for people who are coming to the conference and doing the matchmaking. Make sure that you consider that as a part of your game plan.
Have you ever met any? Well, I'm sure the answer. I know the answer, but have you ever? What was the biggest regret when you met someone and you just couldn't remember their name, couldn't remember who they were, but you thought about it later and was like, who was that person? Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, all the time. People
Yeah.
come to me all the time, even today, and because I meet so many people, and they will literally hug me and say, "Good to see you again," and I'm like, I don't have a clue
Right.
who that is,
I
but
tell them
yeah,
now. I've gotten
it's,
old enough where I say, "Listen, look. Don't even get mad. What's your name again?" And they'll tell you, "Oh," and I don't even tell them I meet so many people or know so
that's
many people. I
without,
just
without after they tell me their name, I still don't remember sometimes.
right, I'll ask them, "Be honest. Let's just be honest and say, okay, and where do I know you from?" My cousin called last night. Her government name came up, and I was like, "Okay, who is this again? How do we know it?" She was like, "Girl, this is your cousin." Now we haven't talked in a long time, and I said, "Cousin who?" "Oh, I know my government name came up. It's Winky." She should have led with that. "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
girl, it's Winky. I know it's Winky."
Because
But
you know who
no,
he is.
I don't
Yeah.
even remember her government name. Larry, another thing you mentioned was Mentex. Mentex is getting these tickets, and at first you were going to give them away on the radio show, but I'm glad you pivoted to give them to young people.
Yes.
Why is it important to have young people at this conference?
Well, young people at the conference is so important because anytime there's been anything successfully happening in the world, young people have normally been engaged and involved in it, and they are the future. You want to pour into them so they can carry out the mission and the objective of making things better. So young people coming to a conference, they bring a different degree of energy. They're willing to take more risks. They're more willing to do the things that don't do, and they got the energy to do it. So young people finding young talent and bringing young talent in and getting young talent because I'm looking for a young person to take over the leadership of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. Someone younger than me. I don't mean we're probably
That's anybody.
yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it.
no, hey, you saw opening, you had to take it, right?
I had to.
Well, hey, but in spite of being Rip Van Winkle,
Or Jesus himself. Okay, I'm done.
no. So it's so fundamentally important to everything that we do that we strengthen each other's hand. That's why the conference is called No Longer Divided. We're going to be celebrating other organizations in a way that never happens before, where we're giving them light because we want people to understand that we're no longer divided against ourselves, and we're working together for the common good of Black people all across the United States and all across the world. That's
Mm,
important. And
I
that's
love
what
it.
we stand. We got so much to do, and there's so many obstacles in front of us. And we got to invest in our young people because our young people are our future. And it's important for them to strengthen their hand. Lon, you got two incredible young men who are going to grow up and be real contributors. They're acting already, they're doing incredible stuff. You're getting them prepared for the future.
I'm
Uh,
trying.
uh, I'm excited about what I see in them. I'm excited about what I see in my son. No matter where he's at, his potential. He has my blood in him. So
He's an ivory.
yeah, he's an ivory, and he is capable of incredible feats once he makes sure that he stays focused. My father used to tell me before he passed away, and everybody knew he said this: "Stay focused, stay focused, stay focused, son." And that was so important. When he said it, I heard him, and I could hear him saying it. But I really understand that when you focus on this conference, I got to focus on that. If I put too many things in the way, I won't be able to complete this incredible event, LaDonna, that we've been giving so much time and energy. So we're staying focused on getting the job done. And when you get the job done, you can celebrate its successes.
Absolutely. Well, if you guys want to join in on the conversation, you can drop a comment right now because we are live for, a few more minutes. And if you want to come on camera, that would be risky, but drop a comment that you want to come on camera and I will give you the link so that you can come on as a guest. Okay. And we're talking about this is Dr. Larry Ivory, the president, CEO, and co-founder of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and chairman of the board of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. I am we're talking about the upcoming conference that's coming up in September 9th and 10th. That's going to be right at Wind Creek, Chicago Southland. Wind Creek is a casino. So I don't know why they don't have the name casino in their name, but when people hear casino, they know exactly what they're talking about. But there's also the tour, Larry. I don't think we have a clear understanding of the tour that's involving Tony and Dr. Erica Blakely and so on. Can you tell us a
Yeah,
little bit
I know.
about that?
What we did is that we took a look at some numbers, and the numbers pointed out some significant disparities. And one of those big disparities was the fact that 90, close to 97 to 98% of our businesses are solopreneurs, which means that the only people working in the business themselves. They employ one person, that's themselves. And the revenues that they generate is, as a rule of thumb, anywhere from fifty to $60,000. And we look at other groups, their average revenue is about 284,000, whereas it's about 68,000. So we got to change that. So what we done is we took a look at things that would allow businesses to scale and bring in more employees and be able to be more successful. So what we did is that we got this group together that is very focused on scaling and very focused on capital access and very focused on making sure that you can get to the next level. And a part of that is what we call our partner with Remoting Works. And Remoting Works is just what it sounds, Remoting Works, because what most people may not know is that the Fortune 100 companies have been hiring overseas and getting cheaper labor for years and years and years. And Tony has brought that to us to where right now we can actually hire our own people. My executive assistant is from Nigeria. She's a virtual executive assistant. She's phenomenal. And she checks me, she makes sure I'm on schedule, all the other things. And it costs me about 90% less than what it costs me to hire someone in the US. It allows me to grow my revenue so I can hire more people in the US at the same time. So it's an incredible tool that may not fit everyone, but it may fit some people because you may be struggling to find getting your word out there because you're running your business, you're keeping the books, you're doing everything. You're a solopreneur, but you
But
don't
but
have to.
somebody might argue that why are we hiring overseas when we got black people here that need jobs?
Well, we can have black people need jobs, but you ain't gonna get a black person here to work for $5 an hour, are
Mhm.
we? So no matter what you got, you can't afford the people that's here at the same time. So if you grow your revenues and you got a $5 or $10 million in reserve, you can hire who you want in the U.S.
Exactly.
anywhere you want. That's what it's all about. but you got to get there first.
Yep.
And in order to get there, you may need to do what major corporations do. I mean, Microsoft has hired, uh, 10,000 people out cloud computing over in Nigeria. Why did they do that? They didn't hire it because they were incompetent. They hired it because they were competent. And guess what? We didn't have to pay them, but we have to pay someone in the U.S. at that
Mm-hmm.
time. It still allows them to hire a lot of people in the U.S. and be more profitable and be more successful as a company. This is the same concept. The other side of that issue is that once you have employees, you begin to grow, you got to make sure that you got your accounting and your bookkeeping and things in place. And Dr. Erica Blakely is a phenomenal young lady who's a CPA. She's had her own CPA firm for 20 something years. And she's worked with some of the top companies in the US in terms of their SEC requirements and 10Q, I think called 10Q, reporting and everything on taxes. And she is now a part of the chamber. And get this, Lana.
Hmm.
She is doing your financial statements. She can also help make sure if you pay your invoices and a number of other things.
You know she's my accountant, right?
I didn't. Well, you better talk about it then. But I'm
I'm
just
just
saying, I mean, you talk about it. Now she's going to be our accountant too, because we have an accountant, but we're going to have one for the other non for profit that we have. So tell me about um, why you think her services make sense, Ladonna, from your perspective.
Well, her services make sense because number one, I can pay her a monthly amount that leads up to tax accounting, or should I say, tax filing time, and that's included. So she becomes my accountant, my bookkeeper, and she helps me send out my invoices and make sure I'm accounting for the right line items and going to the right GL accounts. Those are general ledger accounts, by the way.
Hmm.
And because of that, a lot of you guys as businesses and solopreneurs, you scramble at the end of the year and especially around that deadline time.
Yeah.
Well, that's called waiting till the last minute because you're working in your business and not on your business. Dr. Erica Blakely with Black Zenith Hub, she helps you work on your business because she's working on that part of your business while you go out and figure out the rest. Remoting.works helps you work on your business while you're working. Well, I mean, they work in your business while you're working on your business. So this is important that you have these situations in place. So Dr. Erica Blakely, definitely she's the truth. I
Hmm.
called her up before I even hired my remoting.works person. Like, does this make sense? Because I wanted two of them. I was
Hmm.
like, give me twins, okay? I need two people.
Let
Um,
me get this out of the way right now.
Right. But she talked to me and gave me a progressive conversation about how it can make sense revenue wise in my business as it stands right now. So definitely I love having an accountant in my back pocket. She has an app that allows you to should I say record your expenses because Lord knows you'll swipe that card and be like,
Hmm.
"Well, I'll just write this off." But you don't remember what it was and now
No.
you're looking at bank statements.
Yeah,
No.
and now you can't even find it. Matter of fact, you can't even have a legitimate write-off that you have to reduce your obligation to Uncle Sam because you did not track your information. And God forbid you have an audit and you get no way to show that you did it, you could be in trouble. Like I
Yeah.
said, the difference between tax evasion and tax planning is 5 years in the penitentiary. You know,
Mm.
so we need to make sure, and she does financial statements because without financial statements on an ongoing basis, you don't know where you stand. And you surely can't go to the bank and get financing and get a loan to grow your business if you don't have those things in place. So we're focused on those things. And when you think about it, guys, she's doing your personal taxes and your corporate taxes, your business taxes. She's giving your financial statement and she's getting you ready. And it costs $100 a month. Now, for just getting your taxes done, in most cases, your business taxes will cost you a couple $1,000s. She's doing all of that for $100 a month. Guys, you
Mhm.
can't beat that. I mean, it's just impossible to beat that. We're a world class CPA like Dr. Erica Blakely. And the other part of that we're going to talk about real quick is that you can have a great accountant, you can be doing very well, and you can also run into legal problems. Good things happen. I mean, bad things happen to good people. No matter who you are, you can find yourself in a situation where someone sues you where someone does something, or you got legal documents, like I said, that the big print give us, the small print take us away. So we have a service that allows you to really hire a world class law firm. And if someone said, "Look, Don, I want you, said, Larry, I want you to find me as a consultant. I want you to find me a world class law firm." And I want to be able to call that law firm with any questions that I have. I want to look at my documents. I want, in the event that I have a problem at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning, my kids or myself, I want them to pick up the phone and make sure that they represent me to the police so I don't get in trouble. If I get into accident, I want to make sure to get them on the phone so I don't say something that incriminates me and put me in a vulnerable position. I want to be able to make sure my wills are done and I want it updated. And so, Larry, what's that going to cost me? Normally, you would say that's for the very wealthy and powerful, and it would
Mm.
cost an enormous amount of money in order for you to have that type of access. You get this type of access with one of the legal services that we offer that we're going to share with you. That's going to be phenomenal. You can call and ask any questions you have. That you're not going to get a bill. You know, your monthly fee will take care of it. That monthly fee could be as low as $30 a month, $1 a day. And you're talking about a world class law firm, not just any law firm, but a law firm, not one attorney, but 25, 30 attorneys, and then having access to other attorneys throughout the country. It's phenomenal service and capital access, and that's it. So, Donna, go ahead.
I just hear a lot of fees here, monthly fee. So somebody listening that's not ready for prime time, just about, they may feel that they may feel that this conversation is more about monthly fees than anything. But I want to share something with you. I took a look at all my subscriptions.
Mhm.
Okay, we talking about Netflix, Chat GPT, because I subscribe Claude. I subscribe to all of them. What I pay Google for my Gmail, what I pay for my hosting services on my website, my domain registration every year. Those are all subscriptions, right? And
Mhm.
the root word is subscribe, which means that I opted in and said I want to pay this so that I can have access to this. But these monthly fees sound like I'm being penalized for something that I really don't even want to pay for. I want to change that narrative, and I want people that understand how business works is that there are monthly subscriptions that are needed in order to have these services at your fingertips. It's the same thing. I don't think it's a fee, even though it is. I want us to change our way of thinking about it. Dr. Erica Blakely is not a fee for me. She's a
Mhm.
subscription.
Right.
Okay. Cancel anytime. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Now,
It-
I'm not going
it-
to go ahead.
and a lot it's something you're going to pay more for. But I don't. I much rather pay $100 a month, which we can afford, than paying $2,500 to get my both taxes done.
That's
That's less.
$1,200 a year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just when you look at it in those terms and you realize that really makes this thing make a lot of sense.
Hmm.
It's cheaper for me to do that way. I can put in my budget. It's consistent. I don't have to wait for the experience to, and then come up with this a substantial amount of money because now I got someone to look at my documentation. I got someone to do this or that. It's all in there, and that makes it a lot better when it comes to accounting and all the other things that we do.
I love it.
So Donna, hey, I have another meeting and I
Yeah.
gotta jump off, but it's always a pleasure. No matter how you harass me, calling me old, you could say old and sexy. Now, then I could have been like, but Larry, you're old, but you're sexy too. Dude. You're good looking, you're handsome,
Look, I
something like that. Can you say
look.
that? Can you say that on the air for me? You're good looking.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, I gotta let you go, LaDonna. I gotta let you go.
Oh, of course, Larry.
I don't want to ruin our relationship on this conversation.
Well, of course, Larry, you are very handsome because you know that when it comes to our black men, I tell you what, sometimes you need to know that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for everything that you do. Thank you for giving us this time. And guys, make sure you share the show. And this is the after, or should I say, the podcast after the show that we will be doing every week on Saturday. Time permits, of course. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's it. The afternoon show is out of here. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye.